Habertürk'ten herkese merhabalar. Belçika Ekonomik Misyonu'nun Türkiye ziyareti 10-14 Mayıs tarihlerinde İstanbul ve Ankara'da gerçekleşecek. Biz de iki ülke arasındaki bu önemli etkinliğin kapsamını ve ikili ekonomi işbirliği fırsatlarının anlatıldığı basın toplantısında Belçika'nın Ankara Büyükelçisi Hendrik Velde ile birlikteyiz. Kendisiyle Belçika Ekonomik Misyonu hakkında merak edilen detayları konuşacağız. Thank you so much for joining us today. The Economic Mission is one of the biggest visits between two countries in recent years. So how do we expect this high-level engagement to impact bilateral trade volume over the next 3 or 5 years? And which concrete outcomes do you hope to achieve for Belgium and Turkey economic cooperation?
Well, we come with a big delegation, as you say, 450 people. I think we are a small country, but with a strong industry and economy, with very good companies. Amongst those 450 people, the best Belgian companies are really here. Will it translate in higher trade figures? Usually it does. When you do a good mission, you can see slowly, it's not spectacular of course, but you see a slight increase. Anyway, the trade relations between Belgium and Turkey are very strong. Turkey is number 4 partner of Belgium outside of the EU, after US, after UK, US, China, it's Turkey. And even then it's still increasing. Last year it increased by 12.7%. So we hope it will at least continue with this pace, let's say 10%. But it's also about quality. You know, it's nowadays we're building resilient value chains. We are building reliable energy corridors. We're trying to have new technologies and share technologies where each of us are good. This is how it works. It's about trying to have joint ventures, trying to find solutions with the new challenges that we see in the economy. This is why we have a cluster on logistics, we have a cluster on the transition, energy transition, a cluster on digital transition, on pharma and biopharma, because we have to work on the new health and biological challenges we have, etc. So it's about quality, and I think there we bring really very good quality companies that will match well with Turkish companies.
So given the current geopolitical landscape, the energy security has become a top priority for Europe, just like the world. So how does the Belgium evaluate the potential for a strategic energy partnership with Turkey? And what specific cooperation models are being considered within this mission to enhance Europe's energy resilience?
For us, the best model is business to business. This is what we believe in. We have to make sure that the companies find their interest in working together, just as I said, because sometimes you see that others have solutions and technologies that you don't have. This is why companies cooperate. It's the best model you can find. I mean, governments can sign whatever they want. If you don't have the technology, the capital and the companies behind that, it doesn't work. So we do it the other way around. Of course, we come with the business delegation, the government is there. It's presided over by Her Majesty the Queen. It means it has government backing and that we are behind the companies that want to do that. But the model is business to business first. We think we have good technology in waste management, in offshore wind, in many sectors that count nowadays in the energy transition. Turkey is investing a lot in that as well, and they will find each other.
And considering the recent debates on including Turkey into the Made in Europe scheme, what is your view on this inclusion? And in your view, how would this provide a competitive advantage for Belgian businesses looking to secure their supply chains through nearshoring?
Yeah. Well, for the moment, this Made in Europe legislation is a project. It's still with the Commission. So we, of course, like Turkey, and we are a member state, we are following that closely. We see where it goes to. For Turkey, it looks so far quite good because customs union countries seem to be part of that proposal. But we'll see how it evolves. We, as Belgium, our Prime Minister has been very clear that we are very much on the line of we always use the expression made with Europe rather than made in Europe, which says a lot. It means that we want this open approach. Made with Europe, it's clearly with Turkey as well.
And both Belgium and Turkey are taking ambitious steps towards energy transformation. So with this mission, I would like to ask if there is a concrete roadmap for technology transfer or a joint R&D model, particularly in the fields of energy technologies and energy efficiency. And are we expecting any formalized partnerships that will facilitate this technical exchange between our industries?
There's no bilateral agreement foreseen in that respect, really specifically for technology transfers. Again, we're very much for a market and open economy. The companies will have to see if it suits their strategies or not. You know, if you don't do it with companies, if they don't see the interest, you can do what you want, it doesn't work. But what we do see is that countries like Belgium are one of the European countries that benefit the most of the Horizon funds from the European Union. Horizon is this program of the European Union that finances research and development, and we are and as share of that program, we are some of the highest of the European Union. Turkey is part of Horizon as a candidate country. And we're going to do, by the way, a seminar specifically on this, on access to Horizon funds, and see how Belgian and Turkish companies can work together within these Horizon Europe funds. They're big funds. It's importing money. We've seen in the past that funds from Horizon have 12-fold benefits for companies. So this seminar is not just a seminar; it can mean a lot, and especially in the energy sector.
And lastly, the port of Antwerp-Bruges is clearly positioning itself as Europe's primary gateway for green hydrogen and renewable energy. And considering Turkey's significant renewable energy potential, is the establishment of dedicated green energy corridor between our countries part of your long-term roadmap? And specifically, do you foresee any concrete logistic projects in the near future that will link Turkey's green capacity to the European market through this gateway?
What will happen is it's not going to be a Belgian-Turkey gateway, of course. The only thing that makes sense is that you mentioned the port of Antwerp-Bruges for centuries, and it's even more true today. This port, this cluster of ports, has been the beginning and the end of all the commercial routes between Asia and Europe. So all the projects, be they Asian, be they European, finish or end with Antwerp-Bruges, and of course, even larger than that, also neighbors Rotterdam. But we are very strong in that. And Turkey is almost always on that path. Sometimes it goes a bit more north, but in 80% of the cases, those routes begin and end at Antwerp and go to Turkey. So obviously, it's any connectivity project. Antwerp will be a centerpiece of this. Turkey will invest in the future a lot in renewable energies. And indeed, I think we will see that in the future, that the figures between Belgium and Turkey will reflect that.